So we're back from Scotland and the big Trev bucket hasn't gone yet. I thought that was being collected, but it must be coming another time. Transport. We have another bucket just landed from Williams & Williams, my little pal new rig down in Wales. This got dropped off this morning. Delivered when we were probably still in bed. Grab wagon dropped it off. So we'll probably cut that plate off, put a new plate on there, plug back to the inside, and then put this hanger back on it. Nice little job. Got some C-sections coming because we're going to do an extension on a chassis on an Eco truck. There's my flitch. That's the same size as the chassis, and they will sit inside these for us to join it to the other. These have come in because we've got another truck coming from Foxy that wants an auto tailgate fitting, and that's what that bar's for as well. That's coming in the next few days, that truck. Another Scania that wants an automatic tailgate fitting. And we've just had a line borer dropped off. I think we're going to have a little dabble at line boring. We might as well, haven't we? Everyone else seems to be doing it, so we might as well try and do a bit of like, oh, there's our old. That's Ollie who works for our Dan. And we might get him to do a bit of work for us, as he's done a bit of work with buckets and stuff in the past. Well, that's the line boring box that's landed. Yeah, we've got another one up there as well. So, I don't know much about line boring, I'll be honest. I don't know much about it at all. But we might as well learn, haven't we? We might as well learn. This is more of a present for Cal.
It's like a birthday present, isn't it?
You wanted to learn how to do it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I thought I might as well buy him a kit. And we've got this kit from these men. AJA Group. So we got two, as we've got one for our pal Luke. Because Luke wants to have a do it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I thought I'd buy two at the same time, basically. So, practice. I think we'll get some old buckets or something.
Yeah.
We'll get some old lumps, blocks.
Yeah, anything. You can just open them up.
Yeah. And just
Again, can't we?
play about with it till we master it before we start actually doing work for people. You know, there's people out there doing bodge jobs, isn't there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does say that.
We've seen a lot of bodge jobs in the line boring side. We'll master it before we do any work for a customer on that front. We got a good name out there. We ain't gonna tarnish that good name by doing a bad job. Plenty of buckets running through at the moment that you might not be seeing on camera. They're getting beefed up for a good customer of ours. And this little Kubota from Archie AJ Contracting. I'm just going to go over to Arvin's now, as he has made a new pin for the linkage for me. And then Archie wanted me to change the hangers on that little bucket there to make it the same pickup as that one. But believe it or not, it's cheaper just to buy a new bucket. New bucket, blade, 200 quid. Around that number anyway. So I'll nip to Arvin's, pick pin up for that, and I'll order some bushes for it so we can get this machine back together and get it out of here I've got another little excavator coming in very soon. That we're going to make it child proof, so a child can drive it, basically, so it can't tip over. Anybody got any suggestions? Leave it in the comments. I might like have to build a frame around the track frame or something. Build a frame around the track frame to, because it's basically a good idea. A customer of ours, I'll go into detail when I've spoke to him, but he wants to buy his son a digger for Christmas, a little mini digger, and he wants to make it child-proof so it can't turn over. You know, brilliant idea. Get a little kid driving a machine whilst they're young. I think he's only 3 or something. The younger the better, in my opinion. The younger the better. Joe's back off site. Joe's been down in Cotswolds for the last 2 weeks.
Big shifts.
How did it go?
Well, alright.
Any issues?
Just hard work. Hard work is just basically being able to actually assemble it because there were no room. So having to put it up piece by piece. We got there in the end.
I'll try and get some footage of that and put it on screen if we've got any. In fact, our Dan's at a meeting down there right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to talk about it all, yeah. I've got quite a few photos and stuff, so I'll get them sent over.
Send me some pictures, yeah? Alright, pal. What are you on with now?
Just building an air conditioning cage.
Yeah, that's what that mesh is for.
Yeah, all that. Got one built up. Got a part of it built up. So it's just simple mesh frame with obviously a box section surround.
Good. How many of them are you doing?
I've got 8 of them ones in total, and then I've got another box section one.
Yeah.
So a little bit to do.
Didn't that tell you about his black eye?
He told me a little bit about it.
What happened?
I don't know if he want me to divulge, to be fair.
Should we go and see if he wants to tell us?
Yeah, let's go and have a see. Yeah.
Let's go and have a see. Nat! This is Nat the Welder. You know, it's gone down a bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell our viewers how you got a black eye.
Fell over.
Tell them really how you got a black eye.
I fell over.
Tell them really that.
I fell over.
He got a crack off his missus.
Oh my God.
Hey dear.
You like it?
Oh, we all need a Nat working for us. The only problem with Nat is he comes in late every day. This wagon's just turned up. Hurt plant wagon. This is another one for an auto tailgate. So these men have several trucks for sale, Scanias and Volvos. If anybody is interested in a truck, let me know, because they've got about 15 to 20 left, I think, as they are renewing their fleet. So auto tailgate, really. Won't need that. That can come off. Or should we leave that on? Never know, that could be handy leaving that on. Take this lock bar off. Cut this off. Take the light brackets off. Cut a lump of this section out. Cut a hole in that C section there for a bar to go through. And we'll mount some brackets on here, drilled with countersunk bolts in them. Dead easy, straightforward. We have done 2 of these previously, so it shouldn't take too long to box this off. We were just about to start the bucket for view rig at Williams & Williams, but we'll just pull that out of the way. That's not a big job either. We'll just get that out of the way and get this truck's boxed off fairly quick. The stillages with the glass on are starting to go to a job over in Lytham, so we'll do 2 loads on the pickup. See where Frank is up to with the cradle, as it is going out as soon as it's done. Radio's on. Need to be very careful with radios on YouTube. You're working on somebody else's platform, you need to abide by their rules. You could get a strike for having a radio on YouTube. That is nearly done for our customer. Not the best idea, to be honest with you, but that's what he wanted. Customer gets what they want. Easy enough for there, for little Franco. Good to see him using the extraction. So right with these extractions, the hardest bit about it is actually policing it, make sure that they use them. If I walk in workshop and they're not using it, they get sold.
Come to pick a pin up.
Pick a pin up?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So that's the third truck back to Hurt Plant's yard. Or they call it the Fox Group now. All talk tailgate fitted. Now this will be picked up and go to the paint shop. These boys will pipe it up and wire it up before it goes. That's why it's come back here first. Easy, straightforward job. And now we've got Bella Blue going in for an MOT today. So there's still trucks for sale. These men have got trucks for sale. Anybody looking for an 8-wheeler tipper, they can spec it to whatever spec they want, pretty much. Paint spec, auto tailgate, and a few other different bits and bats. They are usually fully loaded, these trucks. Anybody looking for one, contact Steve at foxbrothers.co.uk. Let's get this van over to Miller's. Sailed straight through the test. Had no doubt about that, as it has an inspection every 10 weeks. Put some tyres on it on last inspection. But when you go on site, especially like that one we went on last week in Scotland, going over some rough ground, you got to check them tyres. I don't know who them men are there. Not so sure who they are, but anyway. So we're going to do a bit of a job on this trailer now. Is there anything, can you see any damage underneath there?
Not really, no.
On that big bar?
No.
It must just be on the box section then.
It must just be that box section there. And that.
Yeah.
But that bar does look a lot bent than what it should be at.
Well, hang on a minute, is that bit, that's bent?
Yeah. I think that's what they've tried doing, straightening that out.
Oh, that's a bigger job than I thought. We're going to have to get that out. That box section out and replace it.
Yeah.
That's what steers your back axle on this trailer for those people that don't know. And we've got this piece of chassis section here that's twisted. And we're going to have to play about with to try and get that straight. Someone's had to do with it with gas, look. That's not us, that. We've not had to do with that with gas, have we? No. Right. Yeah, yeah.
We've already had to do with that.
Yeah, yeah.
With box section there.
So just cut this plate off here to check to see if there's any damage to this bar, which looks, oh no, is that slightly twisted as well?
It does look it.
Got to take a lot off. Yeah. They're on the dinner, by the way, if you're wondering why they're sat on the trailer. So, that's a bigger job than I thought. That box section bar there turns that back axle. It's got a rear steer back axle. It is only a 30-foot trailer, this, and it is easy to get in to certain locations because it's so short and a rear steer. That's the new little generator from Phil Weeks. Dan's bought that. It's an air-cooled one though, quite a bit noisier than the Whisper. I wonder if that trailer done and gone today. That ain't gonna happen now. I'm gonna jump on this bucket from U-Rig, Williams and Williams. And then we've got all this buckets and stuff to do for the excavator that's sat in the corner there. Radio's on in the background, so I better cut off. And the weather's decided to take a turn, as it always does in the UK. This is the bucket we're doing for Williams and Williams. Little telly bucket, the hangers broke off. And it's double skinned, so we've took the back skin off it, and it was plugged back in certain areas. As you can see, we're going to put another plate in here, and we're going to plug back to that plate with our plate that we're going on over the top. When you've got something that's plugged back, it's hard to find the plugs. Sorry, but on this particular bucket, the plugs was actually in the wrong spot for the hangers. Yeah. So we'll clean all this up, and then we'll clean some spots up on it and mark out on our new plate on the plasma table where them holes need to be to plug that back. We'll put a 10mm skin on it. The bucket is a little bit bald, there's nothing much we can do about that. And we're going to put 2 new edges on it. A weld on and a bolt on edge that have just turned up again.
Where's Tom? Tom down there.
So we've got a weldable edge there. Hard weldable edge, and that's a hard edge. Both supplied to us from Millings International at Manchester. So I'd just like to say thanks to Tom, because he has actually just dropped them off personally himself. Most of our wear parts now we buy from Millings International. Now then, the trailer outside, the one with the rear steer, right? I'll show you the problem with that. So this is the box section that connects to the 5th wheel. This is like a lump that goes from the front of the trailer to the back of the trailer. Now then, somehow it's been damaged. No idea how it's been damaged, but that was causing the rear axle to be slightly like that. So as we were travelling down the road, they were chaffing the tyres away. So Seth's on with this one, and Frank. Box section's just landed from stockholder, so we can get that boxed off. We've got this finished today, yeah, out the door today, and then we'll get back on that bucket. This is a little pit that we're making for Luke Malloy. That is going to be a top grid for it, so it can take a lot of weight from trucks. As you'll see, I bought these bent in, and I bought the box sections cut in, so it frees our saw up. Nice easy little job. Now then, this, I'll let Dano explain what this is.
What, this job here?
Yeah.
It's for a biffer plant. It's to hold pipe work and electric cables going over some silos on site down in Biffa Cannock. It's going to galvanizing now, Manchester Gal. I think they may be filming it for us. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we spoke to Mark before and told him that.
And galvanizing just landed outside, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, they're here. They're just getting ready to load them up now. Some last minute despattering and checks. This is the span. So this is going on top of those two trusses that you've just seen. Little smoke in there still. Tobias has been and checked all the hole centres. We're going to go out and pre-drill on
holes.
site.
You see how to drill or cut each side of a box section to allow gal to run through as it dips into the back.
Now then, that little frame that I'm going to make for that little pit will be the same as that, because that will be galvanised, the top grid. Rather than drilling holes, you can just notch it with a grinder. See that there? Little V, it makes it quicker.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
A lot quicker. They don't need to be accurate, they don't need to necessarily be pretty. It's only for gal to let the gal through. So, yeah, lots of different ways and methods that we're doing the gal holes.
Yeah.
You see the big hole in the base plate there?
Yeah.
Once we land this, it's going to be on jacking nuts. So we'll have a jacking nut and a washer, and then we'll put some expanding foam or some shuttering around the outside, and we'll pour non-shrink ground through that hole. So that it's a solid,
to allow it to fill it underneath, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so it creates a solid base. So when the pads aren't quite level,
Yeah.
we can level it up on the jacking nuts and then fill that up with ground.
Brilliant.
I'll find out if we can film on site. Hopefully we can, because Cranny's are going to be doing the transport.
Oh, Cranny's doing it.
Cranny's going to do the transport, yeah. And they're picking up the Manchester Golf Club Monday morning. Down to site. I'm going to go do an assessment tomorrow. We think the IAB will lift it, but I just need to double check before I do the rams. It may be that we have to get a crane company into the lift, but Cranny's doing the transport.
Yeah.
Good job.
Now then, Cranny. Gareth at Cranny. Cheers for that, pal. We are going to start using a few different transport companies and craneage companies as we get bigger. And craneage are a good one to use. One of my pals, Craig from Welding SCANIA, recommended these guys to us. And we thought, let's give them a shot. I can see only but nice wagons on road from them then, can you?
That's it, that's what we've been told, yeah.
Just like Miller's.
Jeff's here.
Good morning.
Jeff from Express, how are we doing, Jeff? Thank you very much. At least for you, both of mine.
They're yours then.
Are they?
I'm not ordering any gloves.
Who's ordered 3 pairs of gloves?
I
I think they're meant to be 3 packs of gloves, which would be 36, not 3 pairs.
Cheers, Jeff. That's Express Cutting and Welding, our local cutting and welding supplier.
Jeff's one of my neighbours.
Is he?
That's how I know Jeff.
All right.
But he might watch the channel. So shout out to Jeff.
Yeah, big shout out to Jeff. He's getting back in his van. Yeah, so what I'm doing at the moment, I'm actually doing quite a bit of work that's not time lapse. And see how you like it. So I'm not too sure if people like the time lapse. If you do like the time lapse, let us know in the comments. And I am also
These might be for David, because they're in a small. So that's probably why.
So little Dave's probably ordering them.
Well, they were ordering them especially for little Dave's little lambs.
Should we call him Big Dave? So, you know that our merchandise money is a big help to St Catherine's Hospice. That is a local hospice to us. And like I said, we don't make any money from merchandise. So I've actually started a new page for St Catherine's Hospice. It is a Just Giving page. All money goes to St Catherine's. And it's a WELDERFABBER St Catherine's Christmas Challenge in memory of my sister, Joanne Martin. So I'll put a link in the description. You know how I like to help others. Well, I want to give St Catherine's a little bump before Christmas. I only started it last week and we're at £2,098 raised so far. The target is only 3,000, but really I want to double it. I want to smash it. Yeah. So if there's anybody on the channel that really wants to help St Catherine's Office, I really appreciate it. I can see everybody that's donated, so you know there's some good ones up to now. Every trade, thanks very much. Bang, 250 quid in there, and there's a couple of other good ones that have landed in. I put £500 in myself through WELDERFABBER. and I put £200 in myself personally, as it does touch me. St Catherine's isn't just an end of life care, it's a care centre for all different occasions, but mainly end of life. And if you've been there to visit a few times, or you've been in a hospice to visit people at the end of their life, then you'll know why I'm doing this. Very, 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 very good cause. Now then, back to work. These two needs to start shaping up a little bit. So they're in first gear at the minute. Let's try and get them into second gear. Yesterday they got into third, and then they dropped down into reverse towards end of day. Our trusted galvanizers. How you doing, pal? Only this one is. What's turned around these, bud? A few days?
Yeah, it should be 3 days.
3 days. Yeah. And then Cranage are going to pick these up from the galvers for us and take them straight to site. And offload them with the high-ab, hopefully into position where they need to be. So when the gal wagon was being loaded then, and that white van beeps at me, it's called James from JC Detailing. So, hi James.
How are we doing?
I thought to myself, let's see what he's like at cleaning Defender. James,
How are we doing? You alright?
just tell us a little bit about what you do in the area and everything else that you do.
I've just set up mobile valeting. Been doing it now for about 5 months since my daughter were born. Come away from wagon driving.
So you're a truck driver?
I was, yeah. I just got fed up of being away all the time, being away from family. So I've done all detail and everything for years on my own stuff, and just got back into it and trying to make a do of it. So
You got a good little setup?
yeah, just got my transit, tarted it up a bit, got all stuff, full kit in back. Tank, generator, fully mobile, right? So
I said, do you need some water? He went, I've got a tank. So that tells you something, doesn't it? Are you alright with the speed on camera? Yeah? Well, that's his little setup. Tank of water. You can fill that up, James, if you want, before you go, that tank. Up to you, pal. So let's come back to this when he's finished, and we'll do a little review on James. Let's see how the lad's done. She looks brand fire new again. Good job, that lad. That's what we're talking about. Andy having that third seat, you know. Andy having that third seat, went out Little Nice every weekend. That third seat is a biggie. Just a little tug there. And it comes down, yeah. Yeah, oh, little Frank. Put Frank in it. Good job, that, pal. What's our damn money's doing now? I think he does, doesn't he?
yeah, we'll do that one next. Crack on with that.
You're doing our dance today?
Yeah, I'm going to do it after when he's
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Fill tank back up and then.
I've just noticed front headlight. That needs to go back to Land Rover. Doesn't it? In fact, I did notice it last week. That won't clear. The last one did that. Well, I had one before this, previous, and it did the same thing.
Did they replace it?
I never took it in, to be fair. I never took it in, but
I should imagine they would.
yeah, I can't see them why they wouldn't. Not see why they wouldn't. So you've not got a website at the minute?
No, not yet. Just Facebook group.
Just Facebook. Just Facebook.
I'm in
Right.
the process of
I'll put a link to your Facebook in this
all the
video.
officials on, and then
Yeah.
I can be away then, can't we?
build your social media is my only advice I can give you when you're doing a job like this. Build your social platform. That will pull the work in.
You're busy enough on social media, so
Yeah. Honestly, just coming to me and doing this,
yeah.
you'd get work from it if you. I can only promote your Facebook page is what I'm trying to say. If you had other platforms, I could promote them all.
Yeah.
You know, because I do like to try and help people
Well,
out.
next step is getting van all wrapped.
Yeah.
And we're all detailing. Bit of a list of stuff you can do. What I'm doing on.
Well, you got a
backing
proper setup, haven't you? So
Yeah.
proper setup without everything that's in it.
Keep van nice and tidy. There's a bit of an image, like to what we do. So.
Will you do us a favour and move it round corner so we can get our hands in here? Yeah. So
Where do you want it going?
we'll put it round corner there. I'll take away all these men. Yeah. We're going to be doing a bit of grinding on that trailer next. Cheers, pal. So it's time for the Yale fork truck to go in and get a full hit. We're going to put solid tyres on it, full service, ram reseal, get a Lola ticket on it because it failed its test. So we thought we better get it looked at before somebody may have an accident on it. The brakes especially not working too clever on it. So I've got these men, PGA fork trucks. Here I've bought many trucks off in the past. Haven't I, Pete?
Yeah.
Many years ago, I think I bought my first forklift off you, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Huh? Was it a Heister?
Heister, years ago, yeah.
A gas Heister?
Gas Heister.
Yeah. Proper truck that was as well. So I'm glad that is now going because I didn't want the lads using it in the condition it was in. So pleased about that. Hopefully we'll get that back within a week or two. I told Ashley to make it like a new one, but he won't paint it for me. But I want it right mechanically wise, that's the main thing. Well, next time we see that, it'll have a nice set of solids on it, as we do get punches now and again on it. But it is a good truck and it's got a high mast on it, so we might as well make it right. The lads are nearly done with the trailer. For Miller's, Dan's car's getting valeted off James. We alright?
Lovely.
Box section bolted back in, nice and bonny.
Why?
Yeah,
Went just like a good.
did it? Right, so there is some packing plates in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
So that might, the lads will have to track that up once it's on the truck. We can't track that up. If you look, that'll lock into the fifth wheel there, that. And as it turns, that'll turn with it, pardon?
Is that looking in line with that thing?
No, but back axle's turned a bit at a minute, innit? Back axle's not straight.
Yeah, it's
Do you see how it's turned?
yeah.
So that back axle is leaning that way at a minute. So hopefully when they pull it forward, it'll go straight, but it might need tracking up. And the way you can track it up is yeah, do you want that? Yeah, we'll have that forecoil, yeah. Is we can add or take plates out of there. That's how you'll track it up. Well, that's one way of tracking it anyway. Alright. Get that chassis section painted, Frank. Yeah, all nice and bonny. Alright. Sound on that painted, that plate, once it's done. Trailer buttoned up now. Nice and bonny. Just hope it pulls good. Just hope that back axle straightens out. When that straightens out, there. You can see how it's over at one side at the moment. And that is why the back wheel is towing in a little bit. Well, like I mentioned earlier, easy to track up, just to move a few little plates. Well, Millers will pick this up and then we're going for an MOT. We need to keep the plasma running as much as possible. We've still got a lot to learn yet using this plasma table, but we're getting there with a big helping hand from techserve.co.uk. Now then, for the perfect setup, if anybody's looking for a plasma table, I'd highly recommend getting a compressor from these men, REM compressors. Ben, who owns REM, is actually on our estate down here, and get one of them bad boys. Max Pro 200, mega, absolutely mega bit of kit, them Max Pros. And obviously get your weld table from TechServe. So we're just about to start making the grid for Luke Malloy. As the bucket is being worked on as well. So we put them plates in there just to fill it up a little bit. Now we'll put another skin on top of that, all the way around. Fully welded, plugged back, as you will also see. The bucket has got a bow in it like that. We're not going to go too deep into it, money-wise. Keep it as it is, and just put a new edge and double edge. So this frame we're making is going to galvanizers. So you can see how we're notching out the end of the box there, and notching out the end of the box there. So as that sits on, once that goes into the galvanizing bath, that'll allow gal to run in and run out, as it will be dipped on a slight angle. Every time I look at that, I want another. Now people say to me, why do you buy so many welders, Baz? Well, how many have we got in here now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 MIGs in here at the moment, and the oldest one is 4 years old, which is the ESAB. This one here. Don't get me wrong, belting little set. Air cooled. But now and again, we'll get jobs in where all the welders are running at the same time. Yeah, we might have a few parked up, like we've got a few parked up there. But when all the lads are in, you see how we just got a job gone out to galvanizers. If a few more lads come in off site, I prefer to have a welder sat there, not doing out, that somebody can jump on if they need to. As long as they're paid for, it doesn't matter, and you can afford to stand them. It's like having a fleet of wagons, yeah? If you've got a fleet of wagons and they're paid for, it's all right parking them up. If you've got a fleet of welders and they're paid for, it's all right parking them up. If they're on finance, it's a different story. You've got to keep them busy. All my welders are paid for. So that's Ollie. Some of our viewers won't have seen Ollie before. Ollie works for our Dan, and like I have mentioned previously, we are sharing men now. So as soon as one of Dan's lads comes free, he jumps on wheels to start working and doing work for us. Now, Ollie has done a lot of work on buckets and diggers and stuff like that before. So he's dead handy for us. But he might be jumping back on a job tomorrow when the steel comes in for DTM. That is the back plate that's going on this bucket. And you can see how many plug holes we put in it. And then we'll put the hanger bracket to that plate. As you will see. So as the boys are working away, and Callum is off this week moving house. He's moved into a much bigger house with a drive and a garage. So I'm really, really pleased for him that he's got to that level. So basically, since he started working for me, he was in a 2-bedroom semi, and now he's made his way up to a 4-bedroom detached with a garage. So really, really pleased for him. I will call in and see him some point this week, because he's took a full week off to move. Again, that just shows hard work pays off. When Callum messaged me about a job 4.5 years ago now, he was on £7.50 an hour. Right, I'll not tell you what he's on now, but double it and more. Double it and a lot more. Do you know what I mean? So it's, you know, it just shows that hard work pays off when you put the hours in. Dedication, never late. Do you know what I mean? It means everything. Yeah, all these lads that have Monday mornings off, never been off on a Monday morning, Cal, always shows up on time. You know, one person I can rely on to be there. Always get good customer feedback when Callum's been on site. So really, really pleased with Callum's progress. And it's nice to see him buy a new house. So I'm just heading up to Archie's Moorfield Plant Services, and then I'm going to go and see Howard about the hangar door. We need to sort the seal out on the hangar door at the bottom. And I mentioned earlier about merch and money going to St Catherine's Hospice. We are starting to launch different items on our website at WELDERFABBER.com. Christmas is coming, you know, and if people are watching this, or kids in the background watching this and wondering what can they buy their parents for Christmas, because parents usually say, don't buy me anything for Christmas, I don't want anything. That's what I say to my kids anyway. You know, I don't want anything, I don't need anything, don't waste your money on me. If you want to buy your parents or somebody close to you some merch, if they watch the channel, just know that that money goes to a good cause. It doesn't come to us, it goes to a good cause. So not only are you getting a family member or whoever it may be an item from WELDERFABBER, which also helps gets our name out there, the brand. The money goes to a good cause, which is more important than anything. Yeah, very, 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 very important. So I just thought I'd put that out there, and I will start promoting merch a little bit more towards Christmas. As last year, we flopped and didn't have it ready. We didn't have the website ready at all last Christmas. So this Christmas, I'm hoping to raise some good money for charity. Let's see what attachments Archie's got for us at Moorfield Plant Services. Whilst en route, stuck in traffic, I'll just thought I'd answer a comment and a DM that I get asked quite often, and it's about letting our lads do social media, basically filming in the workshop and stuff like that. Why do you allow it, basically, and you know, would you recommend us doing it as employers, who are the people who are asking in the DMs? Yes, I do allow it, and yes, I do help them with their social media, not only mine as WELDERFABBER. I help them promote theirs and tell them what to do and show them how to do reels and stuff like that. Reels is a massive one that you need to do on Instagram. I wouldn't be here today doing this video now if I didn't start doing social media 5 years ago back at Hurt Plant. It did get me 3 pay rises, I'll be honest with you. It got me 3 pay rises whilst I worked at Hurt Plant, right? And the reason why it got me pay rises is because the audience who are watching, and a lot of them are employers, were offering me jobs left, right and centre at big money, right? So they're watching me look after the Hertz machines, looking at them thinking that they're my machines, treating them like they're my machines. So that then, from an employer's point of view, looks at me as an employee thinking, bloody hell, he looks after our tackle him. Do you know what I mean? And he gives them a bollocking if it's not right, if they're not looking after it right in the correct manner, especially the operators on the machines when they go out on self-drive. And you know, you're like, well, what's going on here, lads? Why have you not dug tracks off? Why have you not done this? Why have you not greased it? Do you know what I mean? There's lots of things I was asking when I went visiting machines. Why is that damaged? Why is back end scratched? You know, there's many things. Yeah, as an employee at the time that I was, you know, most employees won't be bothered. Oh, carry on. I wasn't. It bothered me. It bothered me that them machines were getting damaged at Hurt Plant. Yeah. And it shone through to the bosses, especially the directors. And when I left there, I was on the most money an employee could be on that's not on a salary. So basically I was on the most money on an hourly rate within the company than anybody else, right? Obviously there have been people on more money than me at director level on a salary, right? But I could still pull as much money as them with putting the hours in on the hourly rate that I was on. And so yeah, the answer is I would help your lads progress in life as much as possible, even if you lose them. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have your lads' best interest at heart. You've got to help them as much as possible in every area that they need help. Inside work, outside work, any way you can help your employees, help them. Do you know what I mean? And if you help them in such a way, they're not going to leave. They're going to stay with you because they realise how much help you are actually giving them. You know, each one of my lads has an own Instagram page now. You know, Cal, I give him his name, ProWeld Cal. Esab Luke, I give him his name, Esab Luke. Friday Frank, WF, I give him his name and set his account up on Instagram. Yeah. So these social platforms that you help building your employees, yes, I'm at risk of losing them. I know that because of all the people that come at me. Yeah, when I worked at a Hurt Plant offering me work. Hence why I gave Callum shares in WELDERFABBER, knowing that he's got a tie there, yeah, he gets paid dividends. Not only does he get paid his wage, he gets paid dividends as the company makes money, you know, and them shares that Callum owns are only going to go up over the years. So I just think that's an important point to get out there to employers. Yeah, look after your men and you ain't going to lose them, they'll stay with you. Fact. Although I left to start on my own, didn't I? You know what I mean? But I only did it because I have got a vast knowledge of experience in the trade, and I was working 70 hours a week for Foxy, and I thought I should be working 70 hours a week for myself to build a company, to build a better future for my kids. And that's that. Stand by. Here we are at Moorfield, and these buckets will be coming down to our yard very shortly. Lenoff hanger, new edge, new adapters, new tips for that bucket. This riddle bucket, we'll just put a couple of new tips on it. I'm going to take this little thin plate off, put a bigger plate from there down here, big gusset plate, as it is starting to crack around the hangers. So that's just a weld repair and a couple of gussets. This riddle bucket here just has cracks in it, and we'll put some new tips on it. This bucket wants a new edge and a new floor, new side cutters, so we'll cut that out with the holes in it there. We'll put a piece of 25, 30mm hardox in there. Also replacing the edge and tips, and see if there's any cracks anywhere else within the bucket. New floor and wear bars. And that one's straightforward enough. Edge, because the edge got really thin. Tips and adapters. So we'll stick with cat teeth and adapters. We'll put Futura wear technology, wear parts for the tips on. Keep them all the same. They are only 20-ton buckets. So we'll soon box them off for Arch. One of them he's in a rush for. So we'll push one of them through. And this lad does a lot of plant hire, crushers, dozers, dump trucks. And he has got a crusher over here for sale. I'll see if he can, I think Arch is about somewhere, so let's see if we can find him. Belting crusher these, Kleeman. Oh, he's there. Arch? Yeah. Is this crusher for sale?
It is, yeah.
What kind of money are we talking?
Wants to be about 170, 160.
170, 160. Belter these, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good. Good crushers, good on fuel.
How many hours?
It's done 4,000 hours. It's just had full service. It's a 2019. We've just flipped the fixed jaw. Moving swing jaw's got another turn left in it, so yeah, it's been a good crusher.
How you doing for fitters at the minute?
Could do with a couple of fitters at the minute if there's anyone about. Yeah, got a van empty at the minute.
Oh, so. You got a van ready to go?
Yeah.
Good company to work for, Murrayfield Plant. So if you're in the plant game and you live local to Lancashire, this is Accrington area now, aren't we?
Yeah.
There's a job here waiting for you. Good rates of pay. But I'll tell you something, they're hard to find.
They are hard to find.
They're a dying breed, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They're just a dying breed finding good fitters. Ones that want to get down, get dirty in the muck and get the job done. A lot of people like working 9 to 5 these days, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Anyone interested in this crusher, Murrayfield Plant Services Limited, I'll put a link in the description.
Cheers, Baz.
So that's the grid coming together nicely. You see the little galv holes there. And then there's one at the opposite side at the bottom. That allows galv to run right through. That is starting to bend a little bit, so we'll have to treat that before we send it to galvanizers. And that is the tank. This just needs cutting down, and we'll roll a piece of 3mm plate for a 6-inch pipe to go over. And the radio on in the background. So I'll just go to the van. Now then, if you remember a few chapters back, we had no stick leads in the van when we were at Tom Pemberton's. So now we've got some stick leads in the van. I've just been and bought some 312s Bowler dissimilar welding rods. The S312s. So I just really want to test these before I go down to Buckingham. I've got a job in Buckingham tomorrow where there's an engine block that's kind of worn away a little bit on the heads and it just needs building up and buffing down. So I've actually bought some really soft buffing pads, really fine soft buffing pads that we're going to take, and these rods. And I'm going to test this welder because I've never tested the stick side of it yet on the 400. So if you're running a 2.5 rod, you want to be running around 80 amps. Can you see how we can pull 380 amps out of this set? on single. If you go to dual, you only get 200 maximum per set. So if you're running 2 feeders, you're only going to get 200 amps per feeder. But now we're going to single, we'll drop it down to 80 amps. And 80 amps should be around the number that you need to run a 2.5 milli rod. So what I'll do, I'll use the speed glass. I'll just weld 2 pieces of plate together just to show you guys how these rods work. Try and set the camera up. ESAB gun. Just tack it up. On this side, put a new rod in and try and get a full run if we can. See if we can do one pass on that about 120 mil or so. I'm basically just resting the rod against the steel here now to do a fillet weld. The material is a little bit thick for a 2.5 rod, but I'm just testing to see how it actually runs into the material at this ampage. You use a 2.5 milli rod to put a root run into something. See, I'm making the material go slightly up because at the moment the van is leaning downwards. So I'm actually pulling the rod, you never push flux. Now we know that the welder runs okie dokie. We can take the drive down to Buckingham, which is about a 5-hour drive, when you're limited to 56 mile an hour. So we'll go take a look at this truck for DNT contractors. Alright, so I've just landed at DNT Contractors down in Buckinghamshire. I've come to this 540 horsepower straight 6 Scania. Now then, the problem is right there, just next to the liner. So they actually are doing a full rebuild on this. All 6 heads will come off. Drop the liners, drop bottom end out of it, pull liners out, and do a full hit on the engine. So what the fitters are worried about here is how that is so close to the liner, and when you put the gasket on, that it could pass the gasket, as it did do this time. So the head gasket went there, and obviously losing water. So I'm basically going to buff that up clean that rust off there, and put a small amount of weld on it. Small amount of weld on it with them DS rods, and buff it back down like it's been skimmed. You would get away just resealing, you know, putting the new O-rings in, new liners, and head gasket, but you might only get 6 months out of it. You never know, it might last. It might last. But the guys here want some weld putting on that, so not a big job. Not a big fan of putting weld on blocks, I'll be honest with you. You're putting heat into it, so you have to be very careful. That's why I've got them DS rods. They're a good rod to use on like a casting like this. I will give it just a little bit of preheat before we actually do a bit of welding on it, and then we'll buff it back down. So a nice, easy, quick job really, as long as the buffing side of it is done correctly. So I've got some really fine 4.5 inch buffing pads, and I've got some really fine pads to go in the die grinder if I need to get into that corner. So the van is there. We had a good run down. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, so I want to try and get done. I set off at 4 o'clock this morning. I want to try and get it done quick and get back on the road because it is a Friday, and if anybody knows the UK, England, getting back from London up north is an absolute nightmare. So try and get this boxed off quick and back on the road. Okay, so I've cleaned it up with a soft pad on the die grinder, and we've got very fine soft pads on the 4.5 inch grinders. So I've just tried taking the rust off there. It'll be really hard for you guys to see on camera, but can you see how close that is there to the liner? That little bit there, it's like 1 millimetre. So, and that drops down there probably about 1.5 mil. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. Maybe 1 millimetre down. So it's a little bit too close to the liner for the gasket to seal. You know, if you put some heat resistant sealant on here underneath the gasket, it'd probably be fine. But again, 6 months down the road, you never know. Can you just see how fine and close that is? Might be hard for you guys to see, but I can see it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slowly, I'm going to put a little bit of preheat into here now, just a small amount, and we're just going to touch it with a welder and let it come back, because we don't really want that weld to go over there, because that liner is going to have to come out. Yeah, so we'll have to be careful we don't like nip that. We might just nip it because it'll be hard to stop that weld coming over here, but that's the name of the game. It's a little bit fiddly, and we're just going to try and build that up a little bit. I hope you guys can see that on camera there, because it's even hard for me to see here, stood back. So we've got the welder out, all the bits, rail line, keep it clean. We'll put some runs on it and grind it back down. So I've got a couple of runs in there. I don't really want to go much closer to that liner. So now what I'll do, I'll polish that back and try and get it nice and level. So far, so good. So that's all built up and now buffed back down. So I'll show you. Put the rule on now, and we go past the liner. You see we've got no gap now, and we can go further back. We've got your hole there. We're looking here. All right. So we're looking now if we've got a gap underneath the rule. Whereas before, as soon as I went past her, we've got a gap, but now we haven't. So we've sealed all that. So that just eliminates the risk of that gasket going again in that position. I'll still recommend putting a little bit of heat resistant sealant around this area, and I'll just show you what it's like with the gasket on, so you can see how much clearance there needs to be. You see? So we only need to seal it in that small area there, as all that is to the elements anyway. That will go rusty anyway, nothing goes against that part there, but we have built that bit up as well. So a long way down for an hour job, but it's one of them. It's quite an important job for it to put back on the road. Once you've stripped it all and rebuilt it, you want to be sure that it's not going to fail. I think personally that's bang on myself. I don't know what you guys might think on the channel, but I think that will do the job nicely. So the boys can whip these other heads off now. We'll drop the sun part of it, pull it all apart and do a full rebuild on it. Nice little job. I'll get wrapped up, get paid and get myself back home. So just on the way back and just spoke to Frankie, and the galvanised wagon has just turned up to take the grid that we've made for the wash pit for Luke Malloy. Another one that we've done for him. And I know there will be people out there that will say that you shouldn't have done what we've just done. There are always people out there that say that anyway, no matter what you do. But I can't see there being any issues with that engine moving forward. Hopefully, by the time this video comes out, there'll be a couple of thousand miles on that wagon, as it will only be a couple of days before it's back on the road. So I'll give you some feedback on the truck if there is any issues. I can't see there being any issues. I think it'll be bang on. I think it'll be bang on myself. So yeah, we've got a nice steady drive back now, and we'll see where they're up to with the telly bucket, which should be finished by the time I get back for Williams & Williams, Mewrig. I might even deliver that bucket back down to Wales myself, because I want my eyes on that little crusher. Do you remember that little red crusher that we did for him that goes onto the Ro-Ro wagon? That crusher has been running bang on since it left, and we've still got a housing to fit on the side of the feeder. I'm amazed it's still running. You know, I expected that housing to break and us to be going down there and fitting that. The housing is still in the workshop, so what I might do, I might deliver the bucket back down to Mewrig and fit the housing to the crusher at the same time in the next couple of days. That's if he wants me to. He might want to come and pick the bucket up, I'm not sure. But I really want to have a visit down to Williams & Williams just to see the yard and see what they're all about, and yeah, just build a bit more of a customer relationship, you know. So I'd say a big thanks to Gavin at DNT Contracts there for paid in full before I left. You know, you can't beat that. Zero accounting, brilliant. Invoice paid, invoice paid. I ain't doing this 30-60 days. It just doesn't work for me. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work for me. If you want to pay me on 30-60 days, there's no point ringing me. Yeah, because we're just not going to do it. I'm going to steer clear of them jobs. We're going down to London in a couple of days to repair some loader arms on a loading shovel, and they've already paid me £1,000 deposit. You know, that's how it is, that's how it should be. Yeah, on every job, that's how it should be. Especially if we're travelling, £1,000 up front, no matter what, £1,000 up front. Yeah, and I'm only saying this really for you younger lads who are getting into a job. That's how you want to do business, boys. Get your money up front. Never be waiting for that money. 60, 90 days is a big no-no. You know, never in a million years will I work for 60 or 90 days. Never. I'll park vans up and go and put my feet up at home before we do that. So, anyway, let's get back to the workshop and see what's going on. Just back in the workshop. Just had to turn the radio off because it sounds like they're having a rave. Sounds like they're having a rave. Buckets. This is a 20-ton ditcher that we've had to spread open because the edge was bowing up like that, exaggerated. So we split it in the middle. Cut right through that. And we've cut 2 plates. 2 like half moon plates there. And one will go on this side after we've filled that in with weld. Grind that right out, Seth, yeah? Yeah. Grind that right back so you can get that weld right back to that plate. Yeah. And then we'll put another plate over the top, exactly the same as that, which is there. How'd you like that welder?
Beautiful. Good
Nice.
welder. Yeah, nice.
Mint, innit?
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Beautiful. Good in spray transfer anyway. Turn the amps up, 300 amps. Oh, I thought you were fast at these buckets. Huh? Well, Frank's slow, and then now we've got extra slow. Do you know what I mean? And that there is like extra slow. So I've been out all day. I've been out all day. I set him a bit of a challenge this morning, yeah? Couple of hours work. I've been out for what, 10 hours? I've got back. He's done about 2 hours work, lot of you. So they wanted an early finish today. Absolutely no chance. Listening? No chance. Got out crack, haven't you? So once again, we've come to the end of a chapter. The director's just turned up. And it has gone a little bit over an hour, and the reason why it's gone over an hour is because we wanted to leave that little bit of footage in down at D&T Contractors with the head. Now then, them welding rods, yeah, it was like a hot knife through butter. As soon as that welding rod touched that block, beautiful. Tell you now, them rods are amazing for anybody that wants to weld cast or especially a block. A big thanks for watching once again. And don't forget to check out WELDERFABBER.com as we have got new merchandise coming out pretty much every other week. So go and check it out, WELDERFABBER.com. Cheers, we'll catch you on the next one.